I'm Mike Carlin, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the tools and accessories that Geoprobe Systems has to offer for the injection of remediation materials. Now there's two common ways to inject remediation materials, the first of which is what the industry calls bottom-up injection. That's simply driving to the bottom of an injection interval with a tool string and injecting some sort of remediation material as the tool string is retracted. And that's commonly done with a setup similar to this, where we have a probe rod, and this is an 1¼ probe rod with a 5/8 ID, and we would drive this tool system down, and we have it equipped with an expendable point. And we would drive this down to the bottom of our intended injection interval. We would connect our whatever our injection pump is to our probe rod string, and we'd use a tool similar to that, an injection pull cap. And we'd begin to pump our remediation materials, and we'd pull back on our tool string, and as we do that, our expendable point comes off, stays down whole, and as we pull back our tool string, we deliver remediation materials to the subsurface. Another common method is with the Geoprobe SP16 sheath. This is actually the sheath that's used with the Geoprobe groundwater sampler. This is quite similar to the previous method that I showed you with the probe rod. The advantage of this method is that this sheath is 1.625 outside diameter, and that acts as a packer, so that prevents the material, once it's pumped out the bottom of the tool string, prevents material from flowing up any annular space. The last tool I'd like to show you is the pressure activated injection probe. This particular tool is used in a practice called top-down injection. It can also be used in bottom-up. Now I've explained to you what bottom-up injection is. When I say top-down injection, it's simply just the opposite. We drive to the top of the injection interval, and we basically inject material, and then we go down to another interval, inject material again, and we keep doing that simultaneously until we've covered our entire injection interval. This tool features a check valve that I'd like to show you. This check valve allows us to do top-down injection. And the way that works is there's a check valve that sits inside of this tool with a spring, so that when we drive this to depth, the check valve prevents soil from entering these injection ports and clogging up the ID of our tool string. So when we get to depth and we apply positive pressure to the ID of the tool string, this check valve throttles downward, opening these injection ports and allowing the material to flow out. Now once we've injected our remediation material, we've probably created some downhole pressure. So this material that we've pumped into the formation is trying to find a way to get back out of the hole because it's under pressure. This check valve will actually close when we shut the pump off, and it'll prevent material from actually flowing back up the ID of the tool string. So it also acts as a backflow preventer as well. We also have a few accessories that go with our pumps that also aid in the injection of remediation materials. As I stated before, we have our injection pull cap, which is simply a swivel that has a flange that allows us to pull with the Geoprobe unit. And we have an O-ring seal on the inside that gives us a nice watertight seal with our tool string. And we have a quick connect that will go with our injection hose that's connected to our grout pump. We have a variety of gauge systems where we can actually hook a gauge system like this up to our pump, and we can monitor injection pressure. If we have an interest in what type of pressures we're generating as we pump a material into the subsurface, we can do so with an assembly similar to this. And this simply connects to the pump in line with our injection hose. It features a quick connect, so we don't need any tools to plumb it in with our pump. And the last thing I'll show you is our injection hose, which features a gate valve. The way this works is we've taken the swivel from our injection pull cap and we've placed it on the end of our hose here, and it has an O-ring seal. It gives us a watertight seal, but you notice we don't have the flange to pull with. We have to use this with Geoprobe's rod grip pull system. The advantage to using this particular system is that once we've injected our material and as we're taking this particular assembly off of our tool string, we can actually close this valve, or we can open this valve. Obviously we want it open when we're pumping, but we want it closed when we take this off of our tool string so that whatever remediation material we have isn't leaking out of this hose. And on the other end, we simply have our standard quick connect that connects to our grout pump. These are just a few of the tools and options that Geoprobe Systems has to offer to make your injection job easier.